Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. It is a Friday night. It is July 3rd. Welcome to the July 4th weekend. Before we get started tonight on Behind the Fat Friday, and Fat Boy has a lot to go over tonight, I just want to talk a little bit about last night's video that we posted with the Schwammies. Okay, Bada T, his lovely wife, Gatti Bichelle, they were all here. And the music that was used for that video last night was muted. And nobody can hear the music. There was music to that video. The reason it was muted was because of everything that's going on in the world right now with Aunt Jemima coming off the syrup bottle and the cream of weak eye and coming off there and all the statues being taken down. Well, apparently using the song Black Betty was very offensive to Facebook. So they blocked out the song. But that was the song, Black Betty from the 70s.
Blam, blam.
Oh, Black Betty.
Blam, blam.
Oh, Black Betty.
Blam,
Oh,
blam.
Black Betty.
Watch it. We better be careful because they'll mute us next.
Okay.
Anyway, so at this point, I want to introduce a man that needs no introduction whatsoever. Right there's Fat Boy.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. So I'm very special for you folks tonight. It is Friday night, Behind the Fat. So we're going to be doing revealing our Easter eggs from this past season, season 3. But first, I would like to introduce everybody's favorite one-legged, slanty-eyed Polak, Del Bell. Come on in and say hi to the people.
I'm in.
Del
Hi,
Bell,
everyone.
where you been?
Where you been?
Working very hard. It was very busy. I had a nail in one tire. I had to replace another tire. It was 106 degrees, and it was very, very busy. Now the question becomes, where have you been?
Very
I
eventful day.
was sleeping, and when somebody left the knee and kissed me goodbye,
So
If you were
we
sleeping, how did you
are-
know nobody kissed you goodbye? Del?
because I would have woken up and said goodbye.
We
Next,
are going to be talking about our promotions this season. So season 4 is going to be a little bit different with our Be Our Guest Star, our Saturday Night Lights. What Do You Want Wednesday is going to be pretty much the same, and For the Fans is pretty much going to be the same. So let's start with our Be Our Guest Star segment. We're no longer going to be doing a raffle where you comment on Friday night's video and you're entered into the raffle to be pulled on Thursday night. We now have a database where we enter all of our fans into, and it's going to randomly pick one lucky person every other week to come be on our show. You
Did you
all
hear that
expense
every
paid
other week?
every other week, Mary.
starting
from
2
Magnolia.
weeks from tonight, because we did pick
Was that Sean?
Sean from Adrian, Michigan, last night to come down and be on our show. So it'll start 2 weeks from tonight.
Correct.
On Behind the Fat Friday, we will announce who we want to
I
come
believe
be on our
it's the
show.
17th or something like that.
Yeah, the database will just pop it on out. We have
I
the
can't
app.
do it.
First, we got
do
the app.
have an app. So that's going to be our guest star promotion from now on. The a Saturday Night Likes. We everybody who reacts to our videos on Saturday night gets entered to a raffle that's pulled on Monday night. It is no longer going to be on Monday night. The Swamis enjoy the raffle with Bri. They don't really like him very much, but they enjoy the raffle. So we're going to move that to Thursday night. So React Saturday night, and a raffle will happen Thursday night.
React all week long on Saturday night's video, and Thursday night, Bobby T and his lovely wife will pull out of the machine with Bri. Okay, next. I don't mean to interrupt you
What
because
do
I
you
don't even know what
want
I'm talking about.
Wednesday? Don't you like Monday? What do you want Wednesday is going to remain how it is now. Just a reminder, your questions need to be in by Tuesday, 6 p.m.
And while he decides to take a break and answer the phone, I will say real quick, Mary from Magnolia, your 2 $10 gift cards and your 2 pictures of the crew is on its way to you down in Mississippi. CJ from Temple, Texas. What's up, buddy?
You're very annoying.
You're very annoying, CJ, but your mask is on its way to you.
You're very lucky. So keep asking your questions every Wednesday night. We pick who we think is the funniest question and send them out the $10 gift card and autographed picture of the crew.
If I could just interrupt one more time, Laura is the only person who was put on a question band and did what she was supposed to
obeyed
do.
the rules.
So Laura, you are now off the question band. Please send in as many. You and you only can send in as many questions as you like.
I want to see
still only
23
pick one.
questions from you this week, Laura.
Well, we're still picking one.
And the last segment we're going to talk about is for the fans. That's every Tuesday night. You send in your suggestions to different things, safety things you want to see us do here at the studio, the Safety with Fatboy studio located in Wuhan, China. Fatboy for President 2020. It's going to be every Tuesday night, and it has been every Tuesday night since we started that. It's a segment that we do after the Tuesday night show. So stay tuned every Tuesday night for that. We love doing picking your suggestions and performing them.
Oh, Black Betty.
Ba-down. Next, I guess we're going to jump right into tonight's segment.
Okay. Oh, Black Betty.
Ba-down.
Oh, Black Betty.
Ba-down. Okay, so we're going to jump right in and... Where are my Easter eggs? Oh, how did you end up with my book? Give me my book. Take your fucking book.
I think we're ready now.
You think?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay.
Jesus.
You know,
All right.
that's why I sit in the middle, to keep you two separated, because I don't know. Okay, let's go.
Are we ready?
Let's go.
Let's shoot.
All right. Season 2, episode 18 is where we're going to be starting off, and we're going to go all the way through season 3, episode 18, and we'll reveal all the Easter eggs. Easter eggs are in all of our episodes except for What Do You Want Wednesdays and Behind the Fat Fridays. Mary
Mary, you're very annoying.
from Magnolia.
No Easter eggs.
Mississippi.
Wednesday or
How do you like that
Fridays.
shout out, Mary? Okay.
All right, so season 2, episode 18 was the first Swami episode that we ever did. It was Bharatita Swami and Ganti Bazal's first appearance, and we were talking about what's coming next in 2020. That was the night that I was talking about the dirty Raymond and the dirty fatty, and I was holding hot sauce. I never mentioned what a dirty fatty was, and Beth from Sister in California put that together, that a dirty fatty involves hot sauce. So
You're very lucky, Beth.
You're very lucky, Beth. So she won that Easter, right? Season 2, episode 20. We did it on the zombie apocalypse.
Say it.
The zombie invasions was done on that one.
So that was the last episode of season 2, and it was actually one of our For the Fan episodes, I believe.
Ron from
Newark, Delaware. You were very lucky, and we did your episode on the zombie apocalypse. In that episode, Del Bell, or Dead Bell, as she was in that episode, never said a word. She rolled right on and tried to bite at me. Right. Never said a word the entire episode, and that's what our Easter egg was.
And Canada blocked the Monster Mash.
Those bastards.
It was the only country in the world that did it. Next.
So, season 3, episode 1 was when we found COVID 2.0. We released COVID 2.0 to the world and started marketing this for everybody. In that episode, Big T's pointer, he was using a feather duster type of thing, and at the end of it kept flying off, and it caused quite a few outtakes. It was rather funny. That was a fun night. Just couldn't handle that feather flying off of that stick.
It was very funny. Guess you had to be here.
So that Easter egg, I was wearing socks with sandals that night, and Ed from Arcadia, Florida, you're very lucky. You pointed that out.
And Ed, we are still waiting for your address to send you your $10 gift card and autographed picture of this crew.
What are you waiting for, Ed? Don't you like money?
You're very lucky.
Don't
Next.
you want a picture of us?
Season 3, episode 2, we did about tick and flea prevention. Gave a couple of homemade tick and flea prevention and treatments that you could use. And our Easter egg that night was there was a cue card in the shot when we were going from my segment back to Big T's segment. There was one of the cue cards that we sometimes use here on the set.
Don't use them often. We didn't use it for Who's on First.
at all.
At all.
Not at all.
Safety. So season 3, episode 4. That we talked a little bit about the pregnancy rate and West Virginia reopening the family reunions and everything. That night was a special night. It was Matt from Dover, Delaware. You're very lucky. That was his second performance on our show, his second guest appearance on our show. That was a very fun night. It was also a Swami night. Mm-hmm. That was a Swami night, and Bharatita Swami talked briefly about Big T's backdoor operations. I believe Fat Boy did too, and how Big T had opened 539 of these backdoor operations. Suspiciously, the exact same amount of kisses he revealed that he last ate. Last time he spoke of the Hershey Kisses. There's something else going on here that they're not telling us about. But that was our Easter egg. If you could have connected that it was the same number of backdoor operations as kisses that he ate. How many kisses have he eaten now?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm up to 614. Not over 1,000. I'm not a pig.
What about the backdoor operations?
Oh, Black Betty.
You
Blah,
tried
blah.
to be a pig one day, didn't you? On one of the episodes?
That was
Next.
from the mask.
Oh, the man.
Next, season 3, episode 6, the rise of COVID 2.0. That we started talking about the sales were off the charts. People were buying the stuff up like candy. It was an amazing thing. It actually helped funded our new camera equipment that we're using now because, well, Sammy burst into flames
She
and burnt up all the equipment.
was burnt to a crisp.
So our episode that night, the Easter egg was when the camera first came to me. I was playing with a box on the counter in our studio, and I picked up the box and after giving Delbell gloves to put on, handed her the box to send her and told her to ship it out. It was going to, I believe, South Dakota. She asked, "What about West Virginia?" I said, "We already sent one there." If you could have guessed that we were shipping out COVID 2.0 to all these places, you would have won that Easter egg. Next, season 3, episode 7. That was a very special episode for us. Groundbreaking.
It was a groundbreaking
That
episode.
was when we first stared our new format.
Thanks to Sammy.
Thank you, Sammy.
Oh, Black Sammy.
Blam blam. Our format, Mary.
Not platform.
We talked about how COVID-19 is completely gone and the Kung Flu is on the rise. We talked about the E. coli in the meat at Walmart's. And where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Walmart. They got the tainted E. coli beef. So that was our bad. We talked a little bit about the stimuli. Talked a little bit about West Virginia and Korea, North Korea bombing the liaison's office that they shared with South Korea. And I smelled an onion that night. And Sean from Adrian, Michigan, he pointed that out. He pointed that out, and
You're very
got
lucky,
our Easter
Sean.
egg. You're very lucky.
Very lucky.
You've been
You're
lucky, Sean.
Sean, you've been
You're
very
just-
lucky. I mean,
you
just to
got-
have me as an uncle. He's very lucky.
You got 2 visits here now. You won that. Easter egg.
I dropped my cigarette on the floor. I'm probably going to burn the house
Burn the
down.
house.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
all right.
Another
It's all right.
fire.
We're not going to have another fire. Sammy is not going to be burnt
Safety.
beyond recognition.
Safety. We
Thank
actually
you, Pat.
fireproofed everything in our studio,
In
so
our
this should
studio,
never
so it
happen
would
again.
never happen
Yeah,
again.
everything is
Even the
fireproof.
carpet is fireproof.
Even the dogs are-
Sammy's even fireproof.
Sam's
That took
fireproof,
a while.
The dogs are fireproof. Everybody.
A lot of skin. Next.
Hopefully the skin's alright with all that fireproofing. I lost my place. Okay, so the new format, smelling the onion. Sean, you're very lucky. Season 3, episode 8, conspiracy theories. We did a bunch of conspiracy theories. I have to say my favorite, I think, would be the one about Tink and how she's gone missing and we haven't found her.
Haven't seen her. Tink, where are you?
We think she perished in a fire.
So,
Oh. Was she under the basement?
Charred
or,
beyond recognition, I
or
think.
was she in the attic?
Who's got all this extra skin to give away?
I don't know.
mine's all gone. But hopefully it grows back again. So I sell it now. The blanket that we use a blanket to hold our board steady in Big T's segment of our show, and usually we have it very neatly, just a little bit of it sticking out from underneath the board.
So it doesn't.
So
slide.
that's how that episode started. When the camera came back to Big T that night, we moved the blanket about 6 inches out. So if you go back and look at that video, you can see the blanket is moved from the beginning to the end of the episode, and that was our Easter egg that night. The season 3 episode 10, this episode here, wow.
You don't know what you're reading right now. do you?
No,
You're
it's the
lost right
Mandela
now,
effect.
aren't you?
It's the Mandela effect.
How many?
But I almost forgot. See, that's how it works. That night we talked a little bit about Jif peanut butter, how it's not Jiffy.
It's Jeff.
Do it.
J-I-F.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I thought it was Jiffy. So we threw up a picture that night of the Jif peanut butter, and we threw up a reduced fat Jif peanut butter jar. Stay fat.
We didn't reduce anything.
We have not reduced a thing.
Yeah, so nobody mentioned of that reduced fat Jif peanut butter. That was our Easter egg that night. 2 nights later, season 3, episode 12. This was also a very special episode. Matt from Barnegat, New Jersey. You're very lucky.
Yeah.
You're very lucky.
very
we did
lucky.
another episode for the fans. You wanted us to do laundry safety, and oh, how safe we were. That
were
night
you?
was a very special night. That laid the foundation for the rest of our episodes, really, in season 3. And,
Foundation, yeah.
that night,
Eddie on his ass.
Fatty, when he was doing his laundry, picked up some panties out of his laundry basket and washed them along with his clothes.
They were his.
So that night, I slipped and fell, and
And he was burnt beyond recognition.
I lost my leg, and that really started the ball rolling on my campaign.
Excuse me, what was the Easter egg in that one?
The panties.
Oh, the panties. Okay.
Nobody mentioned the panties.
Yes, because you just went off on a rant that I had no idea where you going just now.
I lost my leg.
You were redoing the whole show.
I have flashbacks of that night.
Oh, Black Betty.
Blah, blah. So, season 3, episode 13, Fatty was in the hospital. Rabbi Lipschitz was here. He had just gotten back from the hospital. He was there with Baby T.
Yeah.
There was a picture of Rabbi Lipschitz, Baby T, and Fatty in the hospital bed all together that night. And we asked for prayers for Fatty, and Mary was the first one and only
and
one
only one.
to send prayers.
You sent
for
prayers,
Fatty.
Mary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sending prayers.
It worked.
Yes, it did work. I was out of the hospital and had a new leg a couple days later. So Mary sent the prayers. That was our Easter egg. She was the first.
It was the
and only
first
one.
person to send prayers for Fatty that night, and Mary.
It's the one and only.
Next, we
God
got
bless.
See, God bless.
No praying right now, honey.
Oh, okay.
So, season 3, episode 14, we discussed the incident from a few nights before, and we found leg.
Leg.
And I immediately, after finding leg, ran off to the hospital to get leg put on, and
Yep,
actually
shit's put
had her attached rather quickly, because
Yeah.
about 2 hours later, when we filmed for the fans that night, I had a leg. So Adele
donated.
Bell here was standing that night when I didn't have a leg, and
She had 2 legs, he had 1. Now
I
he has
was
2
in the
legs, she has
scooter.
1.
it's crazy how we flip the scripts. So nobody mentioned Del Bell standing on
Standing
2
up?
legs and how she could have done it. If somebody would have mentioned her,
You all really thought that was normal for some strange reason.
yeah. So that night she was wearing a prosthetic leg. Nobody mentioned prosthetic leg, so you didn't win the Easter egg.
She did a song and a dance. Next.
Showing up.
Yeah.
Season 3, episode 16, we talked about COVID 2.0 being on the rise, the second round of stimulus checks, Korea and their threats of war, guest stars in the attic, and me throwing my hat in the ring. A lot of things we talked about that night. It was also a Swami night, and one of the predictions from the previous week was that Laura from New York, Delaware, asked 7 questions. Bharati said that she only asked 2. That was incorrect. She actually did ask 7 questions the previous night. That was our Easter egg, and nobody caught that. And our final Easter egg for tonight, Season 3, Episode 18, was all about Sammy being in the hospital and our studio catching fire. Everybody sent prayers for Sammy. Thank you.
Everybody sent prayers for Sammy. Nobody sent prayers for Fat Boy besides Mary.
Thank you, Mary from Magnolia. You're very annoying, but thank you.
Thank you, Auntie.
Auntie Mary.
Auntie M.
I have a question.
Auntie M from
Auntie
Mississippi.
M?
From Mississippi.
If it's
Auntie M from Oz.
if they
Kansas.
use Auntie whoever, how could when they use Aunt Jemima, is it Auntie Jemima?
I can answer that.
It's Auntie Mabel.
I'd like to take that one.
Okay.
Oh, Black Betty.
Blam, blam.
Oh, Black Betty.
Blam, blam. So Sammy was in the hospital and the studio caught fire. We introduced Del Bell as my running mate for our campaign, our presidential campaign. COVID 2.0 was on the rise still. We had sold over 1 million pounds, and as I promised, the used people, us here in the
U.S.
Us.
Used people in the U.S. I started revealing tips to get rid of COVID 2.0 and prevent things like the hemorrhoids. So we talked about the hemorrhoids. Big T could tell you a little bit about that. Our Easter egg that night was who I was running against. If somebody could have guessed who I was running against, they would have gotten that Easter egg.
And with that being said, we will now reveal who is going to run against Fat Boy for President 2020.
Hillary
Clinton,
That
and she
bitch.
will be here for 3 different debates against Fat Boy between now and November 3rd when the election comes around.
So those are all of our Easter eggs, and we will pick that up from Season 3, Episode 19 at the end of Season 4.
Oh, Black Betty.
Blam, blam.
Okay.
All right. So that was our show for tonight. That was all of our Easter eggs, and we will be with you at the end of Season 4 to reveal the rest of the Easter eggs. So, Fat Boy for President 2020, make America safe again.
Massa.
So I will be running against Hillary Clinton in doing these debates with her throughout Season 3, 4, 5, and 6 until election. And then we'll find out. Believe me, if you elect me your president, there will be a $20 gift card in every mailbox.
Where do I vote?
Believe me. Stimuli checks. We're trying.
Fat Boy for President.
All right.
Go boy.
So, returning in Season 4 will be, as always, throughout Season 3, the Swami team, Bharati Swami and his lovely wife, Ganti Bajaj, will be back every Thursday night.
They're very good, those two.
They are?
They are.
They're very smart, those two.
We're hoping to get Tyroner back on the show. Dildo.
I'd
is
like
gonna
a
be
Tyrone back on the show.
We know. Dildo is going to be with Bharati and Ganti Bajaj every Thursday night from now on. And Dildo and Tyroner have the same lawyer. So we're thinking they're coming around a little bit.
A little bit.
Dildo is a little bit cheaper than Tyroner.
There's
but
something wrong with Bharati. He said the only way he would continue his contract with us is if we let him use that dildo as a pointer every Thursday night. Oh, Black Betty.
Blam, blam. So we're also going to have Baby T with us throughout Season 4. And Mrs. Burnitz is going to make quite a few appearances in Season 4. And as always, Rabbi Lipschitz, Dr. Lipschitz,
gynecologist Lipschitz.
Therapist Lipschitz.
Whatever.
He'll be back.
Lipschitz.
Lipschitz will be back.
And also the extra skin will always be around somewhere.
I'm sure
Well,
it'll
it's growing
grow
back now, he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel it
It's
growing
taking a-
back.
We want to send you a polo, Edward Scissorhands. We want to send you a little polo.
Uh-oh.
So, in closing tonight, we're just going to talk a little bit about the Safety with Fat Boy movie, Blazing Safety.
I'm sure you've heard about this.
It's going to be coming to you very soon, but with everything going on, our safety studio did go up in a blaze, and Blazing Safety was in that fire. So we had to start back over from scratch, and we're getting it together. But hopefully we'll have the trailer out for you by the beginning of season 5, and if we're lucky, somewhere around season 10, maybe you'll get the movie
Sooner or later, you're going to get that movie.
this fall, hopefully. So that's all I got, babe.
Okay?
Okay.
You have anything else?
I do not.
Where you been?
Where you been?
All right, folks. That's our show for tonight on Behind the Fat Friday. Join us tomorrow night for another episode of Safety with Fat Boy, when he will give you obviously more safety tips and continue campaigning for President 2020. I want to say one thing before we close tonight on a serious note. Thank you so much, Facebook, because a little known fact, my mother was born a poor black girl. And my mother's name was Betty. And you blocked that last night. Oh, Black Betty.
Blam.
And that was in dedication to my mother. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you so much for blocking that song last night. Okay, folks, join us tomorrow night. Pibbity, popcorn player.
Would you like your
I would love the fact. Everybody have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow.